What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of Marvel. So, we are just under a week since San Diego Comic-Con has passed, and there's been a massive hype around all the Marvel new properties: Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Doctor Strange 2, Black Widow. The people at Comic-Con got to actually watch that trailer, which is absolute fire. So if you are new to the channel, guys, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. So we're currently giving away EndGame as soon as it comes out on Blu-ray, 4K, or even DVD, if that's your platform, not tape recorder or tape cassette, because they don't do them anymore, but we would give that away if you could. So make sure to subscribe to never miss the video. So I was sent a pretty interesting yet funny message on Instagram about Flash Thompson potentially revealing the next villain, and I thought, okay, maybe he's got some connection to Kraven the Hunter. So essentially what was found, I don't know the origin, just someone sent me it, is that Flash during the credits has no surname. The actor's not actually credited. Now, I can't run to the cinema to verify this, but I'm pretty sure this is legit. The image looks legit, so it is pretty interesting. So the theory is going around that Flash is really like a variation of Harry Osborn, and he is kind of a fanboy for Spider-Man, so this would make a lot of sense. And why the theory reckons that it's setting up the next villain for the next Spider-Man movie is, we all know, I've spoken to an insider who has gone on record with me and told me that the Sinister Six was 100% confirmed, verified. Some people even seen it. We've got kind of, you know, I don't know how to explain them, but people saying on Twitter, you know, a certain YouTuber, I guess you could say, tweeted Osborn is coming next month. And obviously they cut the kind of Sinister Six Oscorp scene. So is Flash Thompson just adopted, or was he adopted by the Osborns but doesn't really go by that name? Flash just might be his nickname. We don't actually know what Flash's real name is. Now, I've not even checked to see if I can find his real name, because I don't think you'd be able to do. So this is interesting. If Flash Thompson actually turns out to be the MCU's version of Harry Osborn in the MCU, then that would tee up the Sinister Six. Obviously, there's going to have to be some connection between a kid at school and obviously Oscorp. There was the leak plot that came out before the movie came out that, you know, insinuated that there was going to be a new kid at school who essentially was going to be the MCU's version of Harry Osborn, and then essentially build up to Norman Osborn. So maybe Flash could have been adopted by the Osborns, and realistically his name is Osborn, but they didn't want to reveal that. But then there's the massive thing that Spider-Man 3 will be made, because they've made over $1 billion. It's the most successful Spider-Man movie ever, because it's pretty much the best Marvel movie ever. So guys, let me know down below, do you believe that Flash is actually an Osborn, and is that the tease for Spider-Man 3? Now, we know Spider-Man 3 wasn't revealed at San Diego Comic-Con. Why? I always get comments down below saying I'm wrong. Is because the movie is made by Marvel, but it's still distributed and licensed by Columbia Pictures and Sony Pictures. Thus far, it is still a Sony movie, but it coexists inside the MCU. See, I think this will be very interesting, because it is interesting that John Watts, the director, he said he doesn't even know how this trilogy ends. Now, if they get another movie, it would be interesting, because regardless of them getting Spider-Man 4, this trilogy has to end the version of Tom Holland. It has to end this story. I'm not saying they have to kill Spider-Man off, but whatever the story's building up to for the last 3 movies when Spider-Man 3 comes out, it has to make this story complete if they don't actually get another Spider-Man, which would be interesting. Then the whole Sinister Six rumor wouldn't come out, because we know Marvel wants Dark Avengers. We know that they want the new Avengers, they want a Dark Avengers, and they want Norman Osborn to lead it. But obviously Sony owns Norman Osborn and literally all the Spider-Man villains, so they can't do the Spider-Man villains without kind of Sony's help, without a new contract. But what's also interesting is the director for Spider-Man 2 said he doesn't even know how this trilogy ends, which is kind of interesting, because he says he wants Kraven the Hunter, and then there was the kind of the ideas, the theories that went around Instagram, YouTube, Reddit. We're absolutely everywhere. I got sent the ideas by everyone, where Boss Logic basically made an artwork saying he heard that Kraven the Hunter was from Wakanda, and he made a pretty sick image. So there is rumoredly some information coming out of Disney 23 next month, which could actually be pretty cool, because we know they will be filming Thor 4 and Shang-Chi back-to-back in Australia now. So they are moving pretty fast with all these movies that will be coming out in the next 2 years. They're kind of getting filming locations. As we know, the Eternals movie is got the film set in UK Pinewood Studios. The film set is there. I know some people are confused. I mean, I did a video about the Eternals movie, the film set. I literally showed the film set, and people are like, well, Stu, there is no film set. It's not started shooting. I didn't actually say it started shooting, but there is a film set there. And the moderator for the San Diego Comic-Con hall panel said they have to get back to London. So if they're all in London, why aren't they shooting? I know if they're not currently shooting, the film set has been built. It did reveal something big. So Spider-Man 3 is one of the most anticipated movies ever. With that teaser, Spider-Man has been exposed. So Kraven the Hunter would be a very good candidate. Maybe Kraven the Hunter could be the villain for Spider-Man 3, and then the Sinister Six could be a slow build-up in Spider-Man 4. So at this moment, generally we wait 2 years for another Spider-Man movie, so it wouldn't be coming next year, but the year after. But that'd have to be part of phase, I don't know, it's hard, because phase 4 will end in 2 years, then phase 5 will start. So I'm not thinking it's going to be in the next 2 years, unless they reveal something crazy at San Diego Comic-Con 2020 or at Disney 23 next month. But like I said, it is owned by Sony. So Amy Pascal is now at Universal, but she is still working alongside Sony in the sense of Venom 2, into Spideyverse 2. So she would have to have something to do with it. It is going to be very interesting to see if the Universal kind of having Amy Pascal there will help the MCU get any other projects like She-Hulk or Hulk, because as we know, Universal will not let Marvel do any standalone movies with the Hulk unless he's a side character inside another movie. But that is pretty cool. So the future of Marvel is looking pretty cool. We don't really know the future of Sony Pictures, because Sony Pictures does perform well, but only really in like Venom performed well, Spider-Man performed well, Into Spideyverse did well, but animated movies are never ever going to make as much money as a live action movie. And then obviously we've got Doctor Strange, we've got Thor 4, we've got so many movies, we've got the What If. I mean, if you look at the logo, you zoom in, you can see Marvel Zombies could be incorporated. We do know that that was kind of a part of Spider-Man Far From Home in a way, and the kind of Mysterio nightmare when Mysterio kind of eluded him into Iron Man's death, saying, if you were better, Iron Man wouldn't die. But that's kind of irrelevant because he couldn't have stopped that. So a lot of the things that Mysterio said were kind of funny. I personally don't believe that Mysterio is dead, but let me know down below, guys. Is Flash Thompson really an Osborn? It would be a very, very interesting idea. Full creditation to the original theory. I don't know where it came from, but I was sent it on Instagram DMs by a bunch of people, and yeah, it's an interesting concept. I don't really think there's much validity to it because he's like a Spider-Man fan, super fan. Spider-Man follows him. Maybe he could be turned evil. Maybe now he knows Spider-Man is his friend and he goes on some rampage and becomes obviously, and they turn the kid into Green Goblin instead of the father. I don't really think that would be the case, but it would be pretty interesting if that's what they were going to do. Guys, let me know down below. What are you most anticipated for Phase 4? It's really interesting, actually, because there's a lot of cool projects. Even without the Avengers, there's Doctor Strange 2, Black Widow, The Eternals is looking to be pretty cool. Shang-Chi is going to be like the Matrix stroke with Jet Li. Crazy fighting. There's going to be loads of slow-mo, loads of kick-ass fighting, which is going to be very interesting to see when this actually happens, guys. So let me know, are you anticipating for Phase 4? I did mention on a video a few days back that Phase 4 was overhyped, but that's not really what I said. I said at the moment, all we've got is release dates and logos. We don't have any more information. So Comic-Con next year will be more interesting because we will have obviously Black Widow being out already, but we will have the Eternals come out in November. But then the year after, we're going to have 7 movies spread over the Disney streaming service and the movie world. So Comic-Con 2020 is going to be freaking insane. I may try and go to it, but I'm not really sure because it doesn't really benefit a content creator to go to Comic-Con. I know that sounds a bit weird, but it doesn't, because obviously you'd be stuck at Comic-Con. You wouldn't be able to get your content out as fast as your audience would want. But I don't know, maybe I might look into going to San Diego Comic-Con 2020. It would be very interesting. So guys, like always, please like, subscribe, and comment. Would be really awesome if you could subscribe to the channel, guys. The channel is not doing very well at the moment. I don't know why. Maybe Marvel's not peaked, but with these kind of videos, the traction goes up and down. But it would mean a lot to me, guys, if you could please subscribe to the channel, like, and comment. That would be freaking awesome. And if you do want to enter any competitions, just listen to the rules at the start of the video, and I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch ya later.